everybody. This is Brown Sugar Confessions coming to you wherever you may listen to your favorite radio stations or your podcast or YouTube. We are here talking to you every single Wednesday night about your relationships, about your sex, and really about anything we feel like talking about because we can and we are. And that's what we're going to do tonight is have a conversation and check in with these gorgeous girls as we finish up our talk around hedonism. We're going to conclude that one. We're going to talk about girlfriend and girlfriend trips, the good ones and the ones that go cray cray. So, Miss T, what are you up to?
Oh man, it's the official start of tourist season here in the A,
Hmm.
Memorial Day weekend. So I'm trying to prepare to not die in traffic. I gotta work, so I gotta like mitigate all of this. So that's my going on. One of my favorite lo-fi groups has started performing again here in the city, so I want to go see them, and they're performing on Monday. I just need to find somebody to go with me. It's at my favorite brewery, so I was like, oh, I definitely need to go to this.
Okay. I'm sure you won't have anyone. I'm sure you won't have any problem getting anyone to go with you to the concert.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So who is this group? Do we know them or is this a little?
Uh, no, it's a local group, Controller Rise.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so I want to go see them since they're back to doing live performances.
Awesome. Awesome. And Miss Treese look good. The hair is magnificent, by the
She
way.
like came in like glowing.
Yes.
Like this is literally sun and moon energy. She got sun moon energy. I'm all like dark and brooding over here.
I've had a very good week. What can I say?
I would
What can I say?
say you did. So, what you been up to? Well, I know what you've been up to, but spill it.
Oh, oh,
I went to New York City, got to hang out, I got to spoil myself. I went to the Baccarat room for tea service. Oh my gosh, it was so nice.
What is the
Um,
spot room?
it is downtown, like right in that main big hotel. I have to put the name up and everything. So I want to give all the women some advice. Go out by yourself.
Oh, really? Why?
Go out by yourself. Do not go with anyone to distract you. Grab a book, grab your little Kindle, whatever you want. Go out by yourself and observe your energy and everyone else's energy. I went by myself. Person I was supposed to go with backed out at the last minute, whatever. So I go by
oh,
myself. I'm sitting in the tea room. I have my little vintage pinup girl clothing on, looking adorable. I'm hanging out by myself. Do you know, by the time I left, I had a table full of people. And these people, we were talking about money and life and love. And it was amazing.
Oh,
And
what?
then yeah, there was this 60-year-old woman who scooched up to the table next to me, grabbed my hand, and she was talking to me. And after everybody left from tea, she was like, come take a walk with me. So we walked around Bryant Park, and she gave me some of the most invaluable lessons that any
Oh,
woman should know and actually incorporate in their life. And she's like, I know people tell you to live for your family. Do not live for your family, because when you pass, it is you by yourself. Live for
mhm.
yourself. Make sure you are fulfilled. And what she was saying was just hitting so deep with me. And she gave me her number and was like, the next time you're in town, I expect you to come out to dinner with me. And
oh,
Oh,
like, yeah, I just had an amazing time. But again, that was me being in a vulnerable state, being open to the energies, not poo pooing anything, not talking down about anybody, just being available for myself. So try it. Go out by yourself. Have some fun. You never know what you're going to get into.
that sounds lovely.
oh, that's
Now,
awesome.
you said the it's a tea house, right?
Yeah, it's a tea room. I have a list of 6 tea rooms that if you ever go to New York, these are the places that you should visit. And they're absolutely beautiful. The food is spectacular, and you look cute eating little croissants and eating like tea. It's fun.
Oh, wow. That is really awesome. That sounds lovely. And
Yeah.
I am so, so happy that you got to have a good experience down there and enjoy just hanging out. And I see we have Miss KD, y'all. By the way, y'all need to go on to YouTube, check us out, like, follow, and subscribe. We're going to do all this magical stuff. And you know what I did this weekend was absolutely nothing for the last week or so. I've been just home. I had the flu, as you guys know, from when I came back from Jamaica. And I've just been chilling. I haven't done a single thing. I've been just sitting home, just relaxing and chilling. We got some friends coming down this weekend, so we're going to hang out. We open up the pool. Even though in Delaware, it's still a little chilly here. I'm hoping it warms up by the weekend. But, I will say I am still recovering from post-Hedo. Like,
We had that much fun, y'all.
we,
We had that much
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
we
But
had,
also, Val, you did the most out of all of us too, because you worked before you got there. You had us, so it was kind of like workation,
mhm.
and then you went back to work the week after in Hito.
Yeah, I did. I did. It was a whirlwind. I don't know how long the trip was. It felt like, 3 weeks, I guess it was. I was out. So those that don't know, I was teaching on one of the lifestyle cruises, and the cruise was amazing. It was a smaller ship, but we had over, I think there were 2,400 people on the ship. And there were just a plethora of workshops. I taught six of them. All of my workshops were sold out. I did a lot of lectures. I did one on low desire. And I was surprised at that one. I will have to say when I talk about low desire. Number one, it was if you come to one of these ships that I'm teaching on, they mix them. The lectures are always free, and the workshops you have to pay for, and they put them to your stateroom. But moving aside, we did one on low desire, which was the free one, just a lecture and a Q&A. And I was surprised with how many people showed up. There must have been two or three hundred couples, or people, should I say, because I'm not sure
Oh,
they're all couples, that showed up in this space. And it was just a general conversation. And I was even sharing my own personal story about going into menopause, how it affected desire for myself, and just talking about life. And it turned into a crying fest. I swear to God. I was like, I think I'm going to need a Xanax or something to come out after this one. There were so many women and also men that really suffer from not having a desire to be with their partner or to be with themselves. They just have no desire. And they have been plagued with trying to find ways to fix it. And one lady even said, it's so bad for her, and she loves her husband, and that she brings him to events such as, hedonism or lifestyle cruising or whatever she's into, so that he can be with someone. And she's like, I have no desire to be with anyone at any time, but I bring him so that he can have his fun. And she was very honest in the talk where she talked about how at times it really hurts her because number one, she has no desire. He has a hall pass, which means that she doesn't have to be with them when he finds somebody to play with, but she doesn't go with him. And she has, she suffers a lot of jealousy because she remembers what it used to be like for her, and it's not anymore. So when he comes back from his play dates, um, she says sometimes it really hurts her heart. And she does it not because she enjoys swapping or playing at all in any capacity. She does it to keep her husband because she's worried he's going to step out if she doesn't. And that was probably one of the most honest conversations. And she did this among a lot of people, right? Just poured her heart out, and people are crying and acknowledging. So that was really interesting how I just figured I just talk a little bit about, low desire for women and it turned into a whole like group fest of tears, and people acknowledge, they say a lot of them are here for the same thing, they just don't have any desire. And some men even acknowledge that, they bring their wives here because they have no desire, and a combination of ED, and they bring their
Hold
part.
on before we get to that, because that's going to be a whole nother show right there.
Okay, that's another show. Am I going on and on?
That's another show.
Okay,
Let's put a thumbtack in that,
okay, because I was going.
because we got a lot to talk about already in
Okay,
this show.
okay, all right. So yeah, so anyway, it was a really good trip. After I left the cruise, then we went to Jamaica, and you guys came down. And I'm not gonna lie, like, right, like he talked about that 60-year-old woman in the tea shop. Well, I'm that 60-year-old woman in Jamaica with three bodies. All right, with three bodies. I'm sitting here thinking, like, we're just gonna chill. Well, I knew we were gonna chill because I was gonna keep y'all. Let me not lie, I was gonna keep y'all busy the whole
We
time.
will chill
But y'all did get a little bit of chilling.
just a little bit,
A
just a
little
little bit.
bit. But I will say, y'all did the most. I was anticipating you guys are just gonna sit around and just look and like, oh my God, I'm not ready. This is just so much. But no, y'all jumped in with both feet, with feet and hands and butts. Y'all jumped into the whole thing. And I, at one point, I don't know how late it was. I'm sitting here like, oh my God, what has happened? Like, I gotta talk to their mamas. I don't know.
That might have been on the night with me. My bad.
It
My bad.
never was the night with you, Miss T. You,
I apologize.
was like, I was like, I'm responsible for these three women. And almost like I remember saying so many times, like, all hands on Miss T to keep her safe, to keep her, comfortable, and, all hands on Katie, all hands on Trees. Everyone's just taking care of each other. But I will tell you, you guys were amazing. And I loved how you were open for the experience and didn't come down there with preconceived notions of what it was going to be like. You guys were all just present and just okay to receive whatever you received. And I also will give you guys a huge, big hugs, because not only were you open to the experience, you also went there without a prejudged notion of judging other people, which I thought was really good. You guys were just, I heard the whispers like, oh my God, look at this one doing this one, or oh my God, look at that. There was no one was judging anyone negatively. It was all about the energy was beautiful. And even traveling with you guys was really great. Just our energies was amazing. We attract, light attracts light. And so our light was really huge. And we were attracting so many people to our energy because y'all were putting it out there. And we took two men with us, our husbands, Katie's husband and my husband. And those two gentlemen started
Ah.
the party while we were at
Ah.
the airport. We hadn't even left the grounds, and my husband pulls out his mini bar out of his suitcase, like his little travel bag with his little bottles of Tito.
First of all, I'm like, how do I get one of those? I didn't even know you could do that.
I was surprised myself. So we started. I was just like, we're still standing up with our luggage. We haven't even gotten into the car yet.
Tell Notorious G the next time I see him, we gotta talk.
I
We
will
gotta
tell
talk about this mini bar.
I will tell him that minibar he had in his carry on, and Kitty's husband and my husband were, they started right away drinking. And I will say it was so funny because not Katie, but Miss T was the last one to come out. And then we got to the van to head up that hour and a half trip to the resort. And the gentleman in the van and bought some rum punch. By the time we got to the resort, they was toast. So much toast. And so, Katie's husband and my husband were chilling the whole time, and then they found other guy friends. But it was a beautiful experience. And I will tell anyone that if you want to go down there and you want to go with your girlfriends, and keep in mind, right? I did notice, which is unusual, I think, I haven't been there in years, that there were a lot of single females there that were coming there as groups. So girl trips coming down there. There were a lot of single men, which is always a part of the Hito vibe, to play with other couples. And we're going to talk about like what makes a really good girl trip. Also, I think we need to have that conversation because the experience of Hito is about the people that you're with. And if you're a couple and you go down there, like you got to have all your rules and boundaries set up and have all those hard conversations. And I want to talk a little bit about those too, Miss T, a little bit if we have time, right? About like some of the stuff that you can experience when you're down there and how you prepare yourself for it. And then we're going to go right into talking a lot about what it looks like if you're going to have a girl trip. Because the one thing I did see was that there were a couple of girl groups that were there, and their energy was kind of off. They looked quite bitter and judgmental and not really allowing themselves to be present in the experience. So we're going to talk about what makes a good girl trip. Um, and getting back to me and what I did there, literally was like supposed to just take care of y'all to make sure you guys were okay, to make sure that you were comforted if you needed me there. But y'all was in it. I loved it. And I think we've all decided, by the way, that we're going to go back next year. So this is your time, guys. If you're listening to us wherever in the world, if you want to come with us next year, we're going to go. We said in October, right? We've got the dates already set up. We don't have everything pinned out yet, but we're looking at October. So we're going to take a whole group down with us. We're going to have activities planned, and with activities are going to be workshops. So you're going to have workshops with me, and it's just going to be quite a unique experience. I'm going to have the links up for everything probably within 30 days. So get over to Brown Sugar Confessions, to our webpage, go to my webpage, Swan Center. We'll put all the links up. It'll be on YouTube. We're going to have it set up where you can come with us. You can have payment plans, but it is going to be so much fun. And you don't know, we might do this on a yearly basis because I think these girls were had that much fun. I what is it, Miss T? I can't hear you. Are you talking back there? No, we can't
We
hear
can't hear you.
you. Mm-mm. Also, what I loved about our people, our girls down there, our group down there, was that we went to Rick's Cafe, which is where they did all the jumping from, right? I was about to say skydiving, but not skydiving. What do you call it? Cliff jumping? Cliff jumping.
Cliff jumping.
Cliff jumping. Yeah. And Katie's husband, I believe, right? He did it. Yeah, he did it, and also my husband did it, and my and I don't know about Katie's husband, but my husband says, "Oh, if I do this, can I get a reward that night?" I'm like, "What kind of reward do you want?" I was like, I don't know, like 5 women or something. I'm like, oh my God, just so I guess he had to have a
He
reward
said,
in his mind's eye, so in case he died. I was,
"Hey, you gotta dream big. You gotta dream big."
yeah, he jumped big, all right. But it was, we had the best time. And I thought it was really cool. We went to Rick's and we saw the twerking competition. Was it twerking? I guess it was, or was just booty popping?
Yeah.
Twerking, okay.
It was twerking.
Yeah. So if you guys,
I mean, is there really a difference between twerking and booty popping? I don't
Not
know. Is
really.
I
it?
guess,
I
It's
haven't
just
figured out what
it's
it
just
is if that's the
verbiage.
case.
yeah, them girls was wild. They was wilding. And they weren't Hito girls. These are just girls that were just there coming from all over the resort. And they were wild as heck. And the funniest thing to me that happened when we were in Rick's Cafe was KD's husband. deciding to throw away all the rules and swim back to the boat. And we're all like,
I didn't find that super funny personally, but
at the moment, no. But when we got on the boat, because here's what it is, right? You're supposed to, like, because there's a lot of boats dropping you off and you have to walk up the cliffs, right, to Rick's Cafe. And there's motorboats. So they don't want people swimming when there's motorboats, because you could have an accident. Katie's husband like screw that, you know. I'm doing it for the team. He just decides to go ahead and just swims. He goes through the barrier, and he actually swam faster than we did making it to the boat. He actually swam faster. But I think that we should definitely have the guys on here to talk about their experience because these guys had the best time of their lives. And we met some really cool people that I think all of us are still in contact with, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yep.
So I'm happy to say that it was probably one of the best trips that I've ever had with a group of girls and how we took care of each other. And we'll talk about that later. But I want to go back again with you guys. Well, we're doing it next year and do some more hot girl stuff. But it was fun. And after y'all
What
left,
was your experience like after us?
well, between coming off that cruise and going on Tahito and then being around y'all, when y'all left, Homegirl was exhausted. I was exhausted. I was absolutely done. All I did was just sleep when y'all left. I slept the whole day away the first day. I was worn out. And I said also what I'm gonna do is fast because I was eating so much because we was sharing them chicken wings up at midnight. At midnight, y'all. They have the best grilled cheese sandwiches and the best what do you also want to call it? Oh, chicken wings ever. I don't know. It's like, Jamaican granny in there just making them chicken wings. They were the best. Seasoned up perfectly. Every night here we are eating. So I said, I'm going to fast, right? The next day when y'all left. I didn't eat 24 hours, right? So I get up and I had been in the sun all day. I was just chilling, just relaxing. And do y'all know what I did?
What did you do?
I fainted.
Is that why you got that mark on your head?
I got two marks on my head, right? If you go to YouTube, you'll see I have these two big marks. I try to cover with makeup on my head. I actually passed the heck out, and which is good because there's a 24-hour nurse in here, by the way, for those that need nursing assistant, medical assistant. They got you covered. I went to the nurse to go get because I literally hit the wall and passed out. And, I come to my husband, of course, is totally freaking out. And I don't drink. Keep that in mind. He's like, you don't even drink. How can this even happen? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I go down there and I actually have a little concussion. I was so dehydrated and my blood pressure dropped to 100 over 64, which is really super low for me. And I had to go and I got all bandaged up. And then my other group was coming in the same night, Topless Travel, my other sponsor. And they were coming with their group, Seniors, or Silver Sexy Seniors, something like that. So they were coming in so that I had to just start working like within 24 hours again. But yeah, so because of y'all, I passed out and I'm blaming it on y'all. Y'all should not have left me because you know what did.
That
That's what
is that what it is? We left you and your energy stores just went out.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. So
That's what we're saying.
that's
That's what we're saying.
that's exactly what we're saying. So yeah, that kind of wraps up like my whole trip and experience. I would travel with you guys anywhere in the world because you guys have the best energy. You're open to have the experiences. You're not there judging people, and y'all just crazy. And
Yeah.
and so, as I said, we're going to have all these links up there for you guys. We've got a couple of more trips coming up. We're going to do a cruise coming up in April, and then we're back to Hito again in October of next year. we'll have all that stuff up for you. Make sure that you go over to like and subscribe and get on the Brown Sugar Confessions team and join us because we're going to do a lot of crazy stuff and you don't want to miss out.
And welcome back to Brown Sugar Confessions. If you are not liking, subscribing, commenting on our YouTube channel, I'm going to ask you again, what are you doing with your life? Stop it. Get better. It's 2023. Come on over. You can also listen to us on Spotify while you set up a cleaning playlist and you just listen to us in order. Like, these are things we do for you because we love you. Now, I know you heard the first half of the show and you're probably just like, I want to confess my dream or ambitions to go to HEDA. You can write us at brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com. And if you have any questions and need a non-judgmental ear who is a professional, licensed, trained, helps people around the world, you need to reach out to Doc Val. And you can reach her at VALERIE at Swan Center, SWANNCENTER.com. Do not make fun of my accent.
Texas.
That's what I'm going to tell you. But we're going to get really quickly into this because I know y'all want to get into like what the real is. Am I the A? So friend A, friend B, Mother's Day brunch. Friend B, friend A is telling her that I've got no contact with my mother because of parental abuse and neglect. Friend B basically tells friend A, you should forgive your mother and get over it. You should have been a better daughter. You should have taken on more responsibility. Why are you punishing for your mother for things that happened in the past? And friend A goes, well, if we're going to look at it like that, then you should have been a better wife to your abusive ex-husband. You should have had dinner cooked. You should have got them kids ready faster. You should have had intercourse when he said it. And friend B ran out of the restaurant. And all of the mutual friends are now telling friend A that she's a little bit of a A.
Mhm.
Friend A wants to know from us, is she the A? What do you guys think?
That's
Doc
a
Val
good.
go first.
All
Doc
right.
Val go first.
Me go first. All right. Friendships, right? So I will say that I guess the friend B, the one that said, you could have been a better wife, a better daughter,
Friend B is daughter. Is
daughter.
daughter.
Okay. Um, I think she way overstepped. That's my personal opinion. She way overstepped. She judged. It's not her place. She doesn't know the real story behind the situation with her mom, with the other girl's mom, and it's not her place to judge. It's her place to support her friend. And that's what I think. I think she's the a-hole for stepping up. Then I think the daughter, just put some digs in there and say, hey, you should have been a better wife because she wanted to just get a few digs in there. So I think she got back what she served. So that's what I think. That girl, friend A, I guess that's one, is
Yes.
the a-hole. What about you, Miss T?
I think you shouldn't throw rocks at glass houses if you got your own glass house.
Mm, and we all got our glass houses.
Exactly. You know, it's like only free 99 to drink some water and mind your business, as I always say, people. But yeah, no, I think she overstepped her boundaries, and I think she was calling herself trying to be that. You know, you have them people that are kind of like the big sister type who always thinks, no, you should do it like this, and you're wrong for doing it like this.
Hmm.
And when that was served back to her, she could not. take it. So, i.e., yeah, she thought she was trying to be helpful. She was in no way trying to be helpful.
Not at all.
So, I would say friend A, who told her about herself and her ex-husband. I don't think she was an asshole, but dang, that stung.
As it should, as it should, though, as it should. I don't know. What do
Okay,
you think?
so let me give you my 99 cents on this. So
Oh,
I don't think friend B is it. I don't think she's the a hole at all because she created the perfect illustration. A lot of times people truly don't understand and don't have empathy for people who feel the need to disconnect from family, especially if it's a mother. You're supposed to forgive the mother even if they have narcissistic personality traits, even if they've caused severe damage, harm. Heck, even if the mother decided to step away, abandon a child, never speak to them, you're still supposed to forgive them and provide just all sorts of excuses no matter what the situation is. And that same type of energy is never given to anyone else, a partner or anything. And if you then create this juxtaposition where it's like, okay, if this was happening with a partner, a husband, and the same types of things are happening with a mother, you wouldn't give those same type of excuses and chances, and you would never tell them to do that with an abusive partner. So don't do that with a mother. If you have an abusive partner mother, why would you force them or tell them what they should be willing to take? And the part that truly was triggering for me is the fact that she even went as far to say that you should have helped out with your siblings and stuff like that. And I feel that a lot of people, especially older generations, they had parents that had, say, 5 kids, 6 kids, and it was always the
13
eldest
kids.
child that was forced to take care of all these other children. So they lost a childhood because they may have started taking care and assisting with the other children from like 8, 9, 10 years old. And sometimes they'll die still taking care of them children. Their entire life is dedicated to being a mother from a very young age. And the fact that this other person was trying to push that as a, like, you should have done that, to me is offensive. So they
Hmm.
needed that wake up call. They needed that reminder that if you wouldn't take this from your partner, from your spouse, I don't think that she meant it that way, that you should have that expectation that you should have done these things. But I think she wanted to be able to draw a picture that she could actually have empathy from. So she just gave her a healthy taste of learning empathy. No, I don't think she was the a hole.
I completely agree. I think that people believe that there is a hierarchy to abuse,
Hmm.
Yes.
and spousal and partner and domestic violence comes before family abuse. And I, as an oldest daughter, friend A was right. You can't ask me one thing and then expect you to get served off of a different spoon. No, baby. It's
Mm-hmm.
all the same helping. It's all the same helping, just wrapped a little bit differently. So I don't think she was the A. And I think if any of her friends consider that, tell her that she is the A, you should really reconsider who your friend group is.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of friend
Agreed.
groups, we're going into our next topic, talking about friend groups and girls trips.
Ooh,
You like that segue, huh?
that was
Yes, I do.
very smooth. See, smooth as you can. Yes, it was.
So I don't know. I know you guys have noticed, but in Radio Land, YouTube Land, whoever, however you're listening to us, if you aren't listening to us already, hi, welcome. Also, you should like and subscribe to our YouTube page, our Instagram, our TikTok, and our Facebook. Just sliding that in here. Okay, we're going back into our subject. So we're talking about girls trips, and we noticed on our trip when we were at Hedonism that there were some girls that were there, as a group, but they weren't having the time of their lives, not like us, unfortunately. We wanted to be like, hey, come join the fun stuff, and they were not trying to do that, and you could tell it was bringing the energy down in their group the entire time they were there. How did y'all, I know you all experienced that as too while we were out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I very much noticed it.
Yeah, I noticed that there were a couple of all-girl groups there, and when speaking to them. It was so funny. There was this one group that at the end, our last night or your last night there, I saw this other group, and I'm like, oh my God, where you guys been the whole time? We've been here for 5 days and we didn't see you, and blah blah blah. And they're like, no, we're leaving tomorrow. We've been here the whole time. I'm like, oh, where y'all been? How come we didn't see y'all until tonight? And I do notice that, I think talking about what it looks like to have an all girl group to travel with and your homegirl, I think it could be two different things. So I think that that's a fun topic. I do also know a couple of stories where some girls have traveled together at one of these resorts, and there was some jealousy that came into play and alcohol, and the girls got fighting, physically fighting each other on their
Oof.
girls' trip. I hear so many girls' trips going left than I hear girls' trips that are centering and unifying as their dynamic. So what have y'all heard? What have y'all seen?
Okay, so I'll go first. I've s- I've been on girls trips where at first we were like having a great time and it was fun, and you know me, I'm a space bunny, so I'm just like, "Yay!" Um but by the end of the trip there were full-blown fistfights, and it was over um, one, people not bringing enough money to the trip, or people coming with no money at all, and expecting everybody else to chip in to make their trip like as enjoyable as everyone else's. Then there was jealousy among like, you know, looks, and then liking the same guy that they met at some random club.
Right?
And the guy giving one person attention, and it just went way left. I know one time I was hanging out with my girls, and this was not a girls' trip. This was a trip to another city to go to this bigger club. We went from the Abilene to Dallas to go to this bigger club. And I happened to be there with some of my other friends. And the girls that I was with were mad because I wasn't hanging out with them. But these girls were hooked up with dudes. I was the odd one out with no dude. So why would I sit there with y'all when y'all are smooching and I'm just like, "Can I have another shot of vodka?" No, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends. You know, they got mad, and one of them actually tried to lure me out of the club to beat me up.
Oh wow,
Mm.
Yeah, to beat me up. And
that's
I was
that's
just
fun.
like, and I didn't know any of this was happening. And one guy was like, "Hey, your friend wants to talk to you outside." And I'm like, "Why am I going outside to talk to you?" And I'm telling you, believe your gut.
Yeah.
100% of the time, never doubt yourself. And something in my gut said, don't you go out those doors. And I didn't go out the doors. I was just like, and I was just about to press, and I was like, no. And I said, hey, yo, if she wants to talk to me, she could talk to me in here. And he was just like, no, 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 come outside. We're all hanging outside. This is a full
Mm.
grown man telling me this, knowing full and well what was going to happen to me as soon as I walked outside of those doors.
This is why I
And
say guys love drama.
yes, they do.
Mhm.
Guys are petty, just as petty as women.
Hmm.
And I went back into the club. I told my other friends, and they were like, "No, let's get the hell out of here." And we got in the truck and we left. And when we left and we drove by, you could see all of them out there. They had pulled out their earrings. They had
Oh
taken off their
wow.
shoes. They were ready to
Mm.
fight. They were ready to fight. Four girls, three other
Wow.
dudes were ready to fight me because I did not hang out with them. That is wild. And that's why sometimes your at home friends are not your going away friends.
Mhm.
Hmm.
They really are not. They are situational.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If the vibe is right. And I know when we were at Hito, I saw that all the time, and it really felt like when we were there, like, yo, we were there for each other. Like, where you going? What you doing? Like, let's
Mhm.
go.
Hmm.
There was no, when I say there was no judgment, and it was all just love and support. Like, what we doing? Like,
Yeah.
it was it was really that. And it there when you say there was no judgment, it was all love and support, and we literally cheering people on poolside.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Like
literally, we'll be like,
that's
go, go.
that's that's the kind of people you want to go. If you feel any other kind of way, like, ooh, I don't like her because of this, don't go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't go.
And
Hmm.
then also with us, when, if one of us had to rest or we wanted to go somewhere, but it was like, that was different from what the group was doing, it'd be like, okay, I'm going here, but I'll meet you guys here. And everybody was okay with that. So, not everybody's going to want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
that's okay. And I think that's the expectation with a lot of groups, is that we all came together. We all have to do the same thing together. Like nobody can break away because everybody's different. And you
Yeah.
Exactly.
got to respect those differences. You got to respect those boundaries. Somebody says, "Yeah, I don't want to do that." Don't force them into trying to do it just because they're there with you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's really true. I think also you have to be mindful of finances.
Yes.
She's brought up
If
a
you
good
can't afford
point.
to go, don't go.
Don't go.
Yeah, don't go.
Don't
Don't
go.
go.
Don't
Cuz then you're just going to be
expect.
miserable in paradise. Nobody wants to
Exactly.
be
Yeah.
miserable in paradise.
And then you're going to expect your friends to pitch in for your financial shortage, and they've allotted money for them to enjoy themselves. So that's going to cut into their personal money trying to
Mhm.
help you out. It's not fair to your friends. So
Yep.
make
Yeah.
sure that your finances are right before you
Hmm.
go, and don't expect your friends to bail you out because you're tight, because they might have just allotted enough just to take care of their fun time, whatever that might look. So have your monies right. And I
Yeah.
loved how you said, Miss T, talk about allowing people to have their individual time. I think that's important. Is you don't go with the expectation that you're all going to do the same thing at the same time, except the Bhutan Death March. That was a requirement. You guys have to go with me on the Bhutan Death March.
No, our friendly walk to the beach
Yes, it
was
was a friendly walk.
a friendly
It
walk to
was.
the beach, and
And
we did agree we would go at least once.
yes, and we did it twice. Thank y'all for pleasing enough over here. But yeah, that was, I do think you got to give your friends permission to be themselves. If they don't want to do a group activity, it's okay. And it is okay if they want to sit back and do something different. The one thing that I do believe though is that when you're out with your friends and you're at a club with your friends, I do think it's really vital that one should not go off and do something with a guy or a girl, whatever, and then leave the group. That causes a lot of chaos. And I'm going to tell you why I say this. This goes back a while. I was on a girls' trip with some friends of mine a couple of years ago. This is before COVID. And we were in New Orleans, hanging out, chilling. And it was like seven of us. And one of the friends meets a guy, and she says, "I'll be back. I'm gonna go and be with these two guys." And we're like, "All right, whatever. You're a grown woman. Do you?" Well, she didn't come back, and so the club is shutting down at 3 o'clock in the morning, and here we are, six of us looking for the girl, and we can't find her in the club. She didn't come back. And we also know that, she's married, and she chose to leave with two men, and her husband's home now. And so we're panicking, like, where is she? We've got to tell her husband that she left with two guys. And we're freaking out because we can't find this woman. It was horrific. It was absolutely chaos. So we hung out probably for about an hour, walking around the club, just staying at the club, hoping she would come back to us. We could all go back to the hotel. We had an early morning flight, about I think it was 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. We had a flight. Homegirl never showed up. Never, ever showed up. We go back to the hotel without her. We check in on the plane. We have our seats, all without her. She came in the very last minute.
I will
The
fight her.
last minute. and on the plane sat down, and I swear we all were about to beat her behind. We had so much anxiety because somebody said we have to tell her husband. We've got 24 hours. We got to let the police know. We've got to leave because we've got families. We got to go back home. She's got kids. Like, how do we explain this drama that happened on the girls' trip? So, in my opinion, it's imperative. If we all go together, we all leave together. And you cannot leave to go and play with somebody and leave us, the rest of us, hanging here because we don't know what you're going to get into, if someone could hurt you or whatever. That's my only thing. Like, you can't leave to go play or go do something with somebody else and leave the rest of the girls there because if something goes awry, all of the whole energy among the girls are going to change because then we go to
And that
panicking.
that stuff like that needs to be discussed beforehand if you're going to be in a group too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Like
so.
all of that, like if one of y'all decides to go away, how do we find you? Like, are you taking your phone? What is the code? If you're not here by this time, we are leaving you. Or if you're like, if you guys don't see me by this time, here's my phone number, here's how to track it, find me. Something. You got to take those safety measures into
Yeah.
account if you're going to be on a group trip.
Exactly. I like that
Especially if you're
idea
going
better.
someplace, especially if you're going someplace that is foreign to yourself, that it's a little more complicated to be able to find you, that you may not be able to just get home with a changed flight. Like that stuff gets complicated if you're
Mhm.
out of the country and you're working with a passport. What if you lost your passport? Like it could get extremely complicated, and getting authorities involved is nearly impossible.
What if
Mhm.
So
you're in a place where they don't like your kind?
Ooh.
Even worse. Even worse.
yeah,
So, but there
the
are
thing.
apps out there that like Life 360 is something that I use on the regular with mine when we go out and they're away. You can track them down to the street. And if you and your homegirls are close, you don't have a problem doing that. You can set up your own like little chat where everybody has their icon and you can see where they are.
Hmm.
Real time. Real time you can see where they are.
Yeah, I love that idea. So if you're going to have, if you're having a girls trip, and you're grown, you do what you want, right? But you have to respect the group that knows that when you're missing the dynamic and the group is going to change. And I love the idea that Miss T and Trees threw out was that, there are apps now where you can track each other and most importantly to have the conversation beforehand. Like,
Hmm.
we all grown women, you're gonna do you, do it well, but
Be
let's,
smart.
yes,
And don't put me in nothing.
Right.
Ooh, I would have fought her when she got on that plane. I'd have jabbed her with something right when she sat down,
we were.
like a pin, just right in the side.
I remember I just really wanted to just slap the living Jesus out of her. I was so enraged because she was
And
one
she
of
probably
our.
got it there like nothing happened too.
Nothing happened. Yes, girl, it was the best time ever. I really want to choke the devil
But you
out.
know what, you know how you could have got back at her for like that, now that I'm thinking about it?
But
You could have been like, "Thank God we found you. We had to call your husband because we didn't know where you were.
we had to tell him that you left, but you went.
Yeah.
Like, we lost her. We're trying to find her, but we got to get on this flight. So you need to call the police and get down here."
Girl, we let her to 911. We didn't know what to do. Well, we had to come back to our own family. That's what I should have said.
Hmm.
But no, I didn't. I think at that moment you were just so relieved to see them, like almost a kid, that I really wanted like this. Oh my God. I know personally, I took a big exhale, like, oh my God, she's here. But then it was instant, like, I'm going to choke you because you put us through so much energy and anger for so long because you want to be the a-hole out there just living your best life and not being responsible to let us know where you are if you're coming back. Like, but I love y'all's idea because right, you're right. Everyone is
This is how
different.
people get left. Like, people get left, but you also know this is how people get hurt too. Like, there was that one group in Mexico where that one poor lady died
Hmm.
because her friend group left her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, be responsible in a group and have your money straight. Don't rely on your girlfriends to pay your way and jealousy. And summertime is coming. Well, summertime is here. Hot girl trips are starting up. I hope everyone's listening, take some notes, and use this as a little guide to have those conversations before you go on your trip so that you can have the absolutely best experience with your girlfriend out there. You know what, guys? It's time for us to wrap it up. And as I said, enjoy your trips with your girls. Enjoy your trips with your family. It's the summertime. Get out there, have some fun, look amazing, be amazing, but always remember to stay safe and to play safe. And we will see you next week. Bye bye for now, beautiful people.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Brown Sugar Confessions on Power 1017. Go to our Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram page at Brown Sugar Confessions to like, share, and follow. Stay safe and play safe. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.